Oh, wait, no longer. Greatness has arrived. Welcome to the Trophy Room, a PlayStation podcast made by the players for the players, where each and every Thursday, I, your host, Joseph, alongside my co-host, Kyle, talk about the latest and greatest in all things PlayStation. So with all that said, with all that out of the way, the greatest co-host, whoever is, whoever will be, Mr. Kyle Stevenson. How are you, sir?
There it is. You just mentioned me as your co-host to start. I was like, oh no, I got demoted. Well, what happened?
Because I forgot midway through what I say.
That's fine. That's fine.
But you know what? I was on a roll, dude. I think actually
Yeah.
I nailed it that time.
Yeah,
Kyle, we got
I'm
a lot
doing
of
okay, Joe. To answer the question
yeah.
for real, I'm doing okay. I'm
good.
tired.
Yeah.
Camp's killing me, but
Yeah.
you know, whatever.
Dude, the heat's killing me, and I just can't stand it anymore. I really can't. Today, I finally cracked. If you hear a little bit of noise, you shouldn't. It's my fan. It's
Good.
It's like 90-ish degrees.
I don't want to see you kill yourself on these podcasts.
Ugh.
You need
I just don't want to sweat
cool
anymore.
Off.
Like everybody's YouTube videos, look at YouTube. You'll find out who lives on the eastern fucking seaboard because everybody is just glistening foreheads galore. It's disgusting here. Global warming is real. Now, with that said, we got a lot of news today. Okay, we're going to be talking about PlayStation 4 breaking 100 million units sold. We're going to talk about Concrete Genie's release date, Suda games coming to the PlayStation 4, maybe, sort of, not really. Suda. We're going to talk about the Fortnite championships. We're going to talk about COD. But before we do all of that, Kyle, how we start the show each and every week, what have you been playing, sir?
Oh man, sound like a broken record. Not much.
Damn it.
I know it sucks. I come home from work and I beat myself up over it because I want to play stuff. I just have no energy to.
It's those times, like especially like you're in the heat a lot, right?
Yeah.
So you come home and you're like, the last thing I want to do is interact with something, and like
I just kind of want to sit and veg out.
Exactly. And I mean, look, Avengers is on digital, so.
Oh, I gotta wait for physical because I'm a physical person, as we've said many times.
Oh, dude, I double dip.
Oh no, I don't. No.
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 If it's like a movie I really like, I'll double dip.
Sure.
I'll get the digital and then I'll get the steelbook.
But I'll have a digital code when I buy it physically. So why?
Don't come at me with logic. Okay, I'm just.
I played. Going back to what we're here for, I played some more Marvel Ultimate Alliance. I did pick up Fire Emblem, but I'm waiting until I'm in the right frame of mind and I'm rested because I know how involved it is, and I want to play it so bad, but I want to be in the right frame of mind for that one.
Maybe you play it on PlayStation. Oh wait, you can't because they're cowards. For me, Kyle, Sean Capri had a birthday stream. You know, our good friend.
Happy birthday, Sean!
And we did a whole bunch of stuff, man. We played World War Z. I introduced him to that.
Nice.
Played some Overwatch. Oh my god, I miss that game so much. Then other than that, yeah, man, it's been kind of just a slow week where I kind of just want to relax and just get out of really critical thinking. So I've just been playing a lot more Apex, and I've gotten into ranked. I'm silver 1. Last night, me, hometown hero, Luke Lore, we're playing together, okay? They go, guys, we need your help. Let's go, or let's go play some Apex. I'm like, sure. Guess what type of game I got? 15 kills.
Come on, Joe.
15 kills. 1,900 damage.
Are you the next person to win millions of dollars in Apex? Is
Probably. I'm just saying, everybody, Ninja, watch your back. So that's really all I've been playing.
Yeah.
The long and the short of it. Yeah.
I do want to point out, last week, we were both really hyped for Wolfenstein.
Yes.
And we both waited because of what we've heard about it, and especially as a huge Wolfenstein fan like myself, from what I've heard from that game and from all the reviews and stuff, it is not the type of game that I was expecting. Like go back and replay levels and armor and leveling up. That is not.
That's not Wolfenstein. And like open world as well. Yeah, no, I heard it and I was just like, nah, I'm holding off this.
I will pick it up this year at some point, but
not at the price range. Not at that price range. With that, Kyle, guess what we did pick up on day one? Our PlayStation 4s.
Launch day.
Hell yeah. So let's get into it. You know, some people, they got some breaking news, you got some leaks, you got some rumors, you got some hard news. Here, we just call them goobers. Kyle, what's the first goober on the list, sir?
The first goober is from Adam Bankhurst over at IGN. PlayStation 4 has sold 100 million units worldwide. According to Daniel Ahmad, senior analyst at Neko Partners, PlayStation 4 is now the fastest home console to reach 100 million units sell in, at 5 years and 7 months since its launch on November 15th, 2013. This beats out the PlayStation 2's 5 years and 9 months it took to achieve the same goal. PlayStation 4 software sales were at 42.9 million for the past 3 months, up from the 40.6 million of the same period last year, although they were down from the 54.7 million of last quarter. It's also interesting to note that in Q1 of the fiscal year 2019, the PlayStation 4 game software digital download ratio was 53%, meaning that more people purchased/downloaded digital PS4 software than purchased physical copies. Sony also revealed that there are now 36.2 million PlayStation Plus subscribers, which may be down from the 36.4 million of last quarter, but is up from the 33.9 million from Q1 of the fiscal year 2018. As for the future, Sony's predicting it will sell 15 million PlayStation 4 units throughout fiscal year 2019, ending on March 31st, 2020, which is down from its previous estimate of 16 million.
Wow, that's a lot of stuff. Right, that's a lot of numbers. Yeah, and you did like FY because that's how they spelled fiscal year. I wouldn't have been able to do that. Everybody, give Kyle a round of applause there. Kyle, out of all the things you just listed out there, what is the thing that strikes you the most? What's the most interesting statistic? Because like 100 million units, awesome.
Oh,
right?
Fantastic.
Is that the thing that stands out? What is it?
No, actually, it's not. It's the part that makes me sad. That 53% of gamers are going digitally only, and that makes me sad. And we all know this. I mentioned it at the beginning of the show. And when it comes to movies, I buy physically. I buy games physically. I am now a relic. It's not a good feeling. Yeah. So that kind of hurt. That I say hurts because that's my preferred way to buy these games. But yeah, I mean, I know it's going to happen eventually, and it's going to keep picking up, and that number's going to keep going higher.
Yeah, and I think I think they even said like over 1 billion software units have been sold as well. So like it's crazy. Like digital is very much the future of video games. And even like I was talking to someone at GameStop, I think it was like the manager there, and they're like, oh yeah, when digital wasn't so big, we're talking about like 2008 with Call of Duty and Pokemon. And she's just like, now it's like a fraction of what it is. Back in the day, they would like you go out for a Call of Duty midnight, it would stretch the parking lot.
Yeah.
Now it's just like
I think we both worked those midnights.
Oh yeah, they were crazy. They were hectic.
It was insane.
And it looks like people, they don't want to wait in the crowd, right? Yeah. They don't want to wait till midnight. They rather download, pre-download, and then it's just bam. It's just there, as is. And I prefer physical over digital as well, but I'm not like a diehard going like I need physical or else. I'm conscientious enough to say, hey, and that was a big word I just used it. Please give me a pat on the back. Maybe I used it wrong. Adam Leonard will tell me. But like, I'm more conscious about the purchases that I make. And so like, if it's a good deal, I go digital or physical. That's really what it equates to, because to me, I'm just like, I don't have unlimited money. So like I saw crazy things like Doom was $40, like Eternal. I think it's like 47 on Amazon if you pre-ordered it. I was like, done. I'll save $13 if I can. And that's a physical purchase, but I'm going to have to wait later. So like for me, that number strikes me because it is high, but I actually thought it would be a lot more than this at this point. Right? Like 53, it's half for sure. I wonder where digital is going to be in the next 5 years, right? Like when the cloud services are taking place, when we have that Netflix for gaming, what's that gonna look like in terms of physical media? Is it just gonna truly die, or is it going to be not as prevalent? I want to see what that number's at. With that, Nasty Boots writes in, with the current console sales, do you feel like it's idiotic to say that the next generation is the last generation? This is a really good question, right? Because it seems like since the seventh gen, right? Like going into this generation, this was the last gen, right? Phones were about to take over. Do you feel with PlayStation hitting 100 million, and we're going to talk about Tim Ulf's question in a sec, and with other consoles appearing to approach that mark as well, do you think it's kind of like premature to just say, hey, this is, consoles are dead type of thing?
I think it might be a little premature. I mean, we saw what happened with this generation, like you mentioned. Everyone was like, "Oh, consoles are dead. Like they're a thing of the past."
Yeah.
I definitely think that the next one won't be the last. I think people still buy these consoles because they do so well and they have such great experiences on them. So why not?
I think you're going to see, this is me just getting in my DeLorean here for a second, but I'm a big fan of, I think the next Xbox is just called Xbox. And I think that platform, everybody's pushing that idea of the platform. I think that's the true future of, you're going to get iterations of consoles. You're not going to get a PlayStation 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think you're going to get a PlayStation. And then they'll figure out over time with those other iterations what they call those boxes. But I'm one of those people who are just like, consoles aren't going away. The idea of how we look at a console and interact with it, those are the things that are changing.
Kind of like the Steam boxes.
Absolutely,
years
but
ago.
not embarrassingly bad.
No.
Tim Ulf asks, will this be the last console we see hit that milestone? It looks like the Switch is heading that way, or could cloud-based gaming or cross-platform capabilities kill console numbers? That's a good question. For me, it's a hard no. I think this is like, we're going to see the Nintendo Switch, like Tim Ulf mentioned. It's like, I even think the Switch is going to probably outsell the PlayStation 4. The way that they support their consoles over time. If something's a success, they will milk it until that udder is dry. You know what I mean? Like, look at the 3DS. Great example. Game Boy, great example. So, it's at 36 million right now, 2 years in. It's got plenty of time. They got a light version coming out, Vita. I think they're calling it Vita 3. So yeah, it's not going to be the first. It's not going to be the last. Gaming is growing. And I think we've seen, like, with the mobile market, it's the biggest market out there. PC gaming, it's still alive. Not, just because consoles and mobile existed or came to be, didn't mean those things died. You know what I mean? Yeah. So for me, I don't think so at all.
He does bring up a good point. Like, the whole cloud-based gaming thing is kind of a wild card.
Yeah.
And this whole crossplay thing is interesting because would people buy the game to play crossplay on whatever they already own, or will they buy what the system their friends are playing on and just not worry about crossplay?
Right.
Or will they buy, what they want because of other experiences they can have on it?
I think what I mentioned like a minute ago is the way we look at consoles are going to change. And when we broaden it out to platforms, right? Platforms, I think, like, you look at Netflix, it's been growing like crazy. It's the first time ever since Netflix existed, I think, that they lost subscribers last quarter. So I actually think with the implementation of cloud and these platform future, God, what do I want to say? Initiatives that these companies are launching, you're going to actually see bigger numbers than what we see currently, because now Xbox is on mobile phones. So, because of the Xbox app and, xCloud is on your phone, does that count as a console? Does this PlayStation app on your phone, does that, Remote Play, does that count? I think there's going to be a more minutiae to that question than what we're talking about.
Here's a follow-up to that one. Yeah. Specifically when it comes to cloud-based, I'm thinking like Google Stadia, right?
Yeah.
Will they ever hit a number of 100 million players that have subscribed to Google Stadia? Kind of like buying a console. Are they going to subscribe to the service?
I mean, man, I don't want to... like the old saying goes, I don't want to fuck the chicken before it hatches. You know what I mean?
So that'd be incredibly hard.
Who? But I really don't. I see. I don't know. That's a really hard question. I think, sure, eventually, but is Stadia going to be that one? I don't know right now. I think it's too early. God, Xbox maybe. I know they all have this figurative, like, we have this 200 million player mark that we're chasing. The reason why PlayStation's so successful is they've been open by saying, hey, let Xbox and Google fight. We're going to do our own thing. And it's obviously worked because it's 100 million units sold. So probably, I mean, you know, if having to shell out $300 for a unit and people have done it 100 million times, I mean, if we get into platforms and it's free, absolutely.
How many of those 100 million did you contribute to?
Oh, that's a really good question. That's a really great question.
Well, does this include Pro, by the way?
I believe so, yes.
Okay. Yeah. So then I've contributed to 2 PS4s.
2 PS4s. Okay, yes. So me personally, I've had 1 PlayStation 4. Right? The OG, the glorious. I love that console so much.
Yeah.
I then upgraded to a Pro. And then with the abuse of the GameStop return policy when it came to warranties, I upgraded to the God of War edition for $50. And then I gave that console to my brother because I'm the best brother ever. I've contributed to 4 consoles. I have a problem. It's an addiction, and I have shame.
So 6 out of the 100 million are right here on this podcast right now.
Yeah.
Incredible.
That is something like I like when we talk about numbers, it's like, yeah, but like how many of those, like 36 million, right? Like plus members. How many people are duplicate purchasers, you know? There has to be a number. There has to be a statistic that Sony's able to look at, like whether it's like IP address or something, like that they're able to know, oh yeah, there's like 2 in every home, you know? I mean, like even EA was just like, oh, we did an analysis. This is like Switch news, but whatever. They're like, most Switch owners actually already have a PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. And I'm like, how the fuck do you know that? Andrew Wilson, you robot. This just goes even into more of my theory of how EA and Google are just hive minds and Andrew Wilson is a husk for some type of sentient AI that we're not aware about. But yeah, like, I think that's a really good question. I know, like, there's even debate when it came to the Xbox 360 with all the red rings. Like, how many people purchased it because it red ringed?
Yeah.
And how many people do the returns count? Like, that's numbers I would really like to see from both Sony and like everybody. Actually, that's really dope.
So here's what I want to ask all the listeners out there.
Okay,
I want you to tweet at us or in the Discord, Casa de Bad Bit. Tell us how many PlayStation 4s you bought, and let's total how many our listeners and the Trophy Room are accounting for.
Oh my God!
Out of the 100 million.
At PS Trophy Room, let us know. I know there's people that listen. They're like, I don't even own a PlayStation. So be truthful. You can say flat up 0. Absolutely. That's fine. Casa de Bad Bit Discord, PS Trophy Room on Twitter. Yeah, let us know. With that, Kyle, here's a little extra on that news of the 100 million units sold. Would you like to tell us?
Absolutely. This comes from Sammy Baker over at Push Square. PlayStation propels Sony to best Q1 operating profit ever. Excuse me.
How dare you?
Sony's a much healthier, what timing? Much healthier company these days, and it's posted another sturdy financial report pertaining to the 3-month period which ended on June 30th. PlayStation was once again the biggest financial driver, with the division helping to propel the Japanese giant to its largest Q1 operating profit results of all time. The gaming business contributed $672 billion operating profit, which commanded a colossal 32% of the company's overall income.
Yeah. Now, this is interesting because me and Luke Lord, the Insipid Ghost, who is now my new best friend. Sorry, Kyle. We were talking while we were playing Apex. I know this is crazy. What a story. This never happens. But like we were talking about, like, isn't it crazy? Would it be cool to see, because we're nerds and we like numbers, like how much of an impact these brands have on their bigger corporations? Like, what is the impact of Xbox and Microsoft? And now we're looking at PlayStation. We're seeing the impact of Sony. Oh, holy crap. Like, this is amazing. This just goes to show, back in the 90s, Sony thought, hey, this is the dumbest thing ever. Fine, we have the tech, but we don't know, right? They came into the gaming sphere because Nintendo gave them the backhand. And now seeing PlayStation being here and being the juggernaut success, holding this company up. My question to you, Kyle, if PlayStation didn't exist, I know, what a horror. Oh God, I know. What would we be playing on, right? The Atari Jaguar. The Atari Cheetah. If it didn't exist, do you think Sony would still be in the zeitgeist, or you think they would kind of fade into the...
That's very interesting.
Think about it.
Yeah, because they can't survive on Walkmans and CD players.
No, right? God no. Yeah.
Their TVs are, I guess, okay.
Fuck you. What are you talking shit about this TV behind
Whenever
me?
people tell me like what TV, because I'm looking at buying my first 4K TV soon.
Okay.
They're like, get this LG model, or get this. Oh my God, I'm blanking on the other one. It's definitely not Sony though. Samsung, yeah, something like that, yeah.
TLC,
Yeah.
They're like, don't go chasing waterfalls, but
it's definitely TCL, but I'll take TLC. Definitely not a Vizio.
Yeah.
But like, what is? I mean, their movie division, right?
Yeah,
they do
got
have that.
Spider-Man, they got Spooderman, but it doesn't do gangbusters. That's the thing about Sony Pictures. Yeah, so that's the thing. I think, Sony would be in a much darker place, which goes into the fact of like, the company's strength with PlayStation is that they need PlayStation to be a success. And so they will throw as much money they need to make PlayStation make them money. So it's really interesting to see where PlayStation goes in the future because of how financially tied to the main company PlayStation is. It's crazy. But with that, let's get to our next bit of news with this game announcement. Yeah, go for it, dude.
Ethan Gotch over at Kotaku. Vivid painting adventure Concrete Genie will release on PS4 on October 8th. After being delayed earlier this year, Sony's painterly puzzle platformer Concrete Genie will finally come to PS4 on October 8th for $30, the deluxe edition $40.
Bam, what a long read. Kyle, my question here, we saw some more gameplay of this game. We saw more of the artwork of this game.
Yeah.
Man, what are your thoughts walking in? And also the first impression so far, glowing.
Absolutely.
Like people have already got their hands on it. They're already really liking their experience here. What do you think about Concrete Genie, my man?
That's the thing. Like, before we got these previews, whenever I watch somebody talk about this game or watch the trailer for it, they're like, it looks pretty, but I don't know if that's going to lend itself to a good game. And now hearing these people like just gush over it, I am so excited. It looks as beautiful as ever. I love the mechanics of it, where you can like graffiti on the wall and they help you solve the puzzles, and the story seems cool. And like, for $30, how can you not go wrong at that price right there?
Dude, yeah, $30. And it's, again, like, to me, it has the Cuphead effect, where like Cuphead was like, what, it was like $20, right? Someone,
I think so.
Who's an Xbox nerd, let me know. Yeah, I think it's like $20.
Well, on Switch, I think it was 20.
Yeah, so like, it's not here to sell, 8 million units, right? They're a smaller project, so they're expecting probably a smaller return on this game, and it looks really good. It's something for people to keep talking about PlayStation, and during the holiday season, while also appealing to the more artistic indie side that PlayStation's so good at. Like, looking at this game, a lot of people were like, it was giving me Infamous Second Son vibes when it came to the combat. Yeah, I mean, it looked beautiful. It looked colorful. Yeah, I'm so down for this. This is a day one purchase.
And this is also what I think PlayStation does really, really well.
Yeah.
Is they have smaller exclusives.
Yeah.
That aren't like $60 AAA gangbusters. You have these smaller stuff that you can only play on PlayStation. Like, I love that. I'm not saying the other ones don't have that, but
but they're usually State of Decay.
I'll let you throw
smack talk. Yeah. No. So Concrete Genie's had my interest. This is now definitely a day one buy. $30, right up my alley. I don't know if this is a physical for me. I don't know.
That's fair.
Because $30 is $30, you know, like the old saying goes. So yeah, no, everybody check out this trailer. Seriously, I love when PlayStation gets weird. You know, let's get weird with PlayStation. That should be a title. Weird. Sean Capri, look it up. With that,
Mr. Joe.
Yes,
Mr. Joe. Why'd I call you? I'm in camp mode. I call everyone Mr. or Miss. That's a t-shirt right there.
Yeah.
Let's get weird with PlayStation.
Let's get weird, guys.
Let's get weird with PlayStation.
With that, let's get to the next goober on the list. And
you
Kyle,
mean the new segment?
Kyle, it's a new segment. Yeah. Hell yes, great. It is.
I'm gonna groan at this one.
Hey, Kyle, I got a question for you.
I don't want to answer it.
What's rapper Ludacris's favorite game developer?
Hold on, I'm gonna pause. I'll let everyone at home scream it out loud because I'm pretty sure you're gonna get it.
Suda.
Oh man. Move, Travis. Get out the way.
I get it, guys. I get it. Please don't rate us 1 star. Rate us 5 stars. It's great. I love you all so very much. Kyle, would you like to read this goober for me, my good pal?
This is from Liam Croft over at Push Square. Suda51 in talks with the Marvelous over No More Heroes 1 and 2 PS4 remasters. The No More Heroes franchise has had a weird relationship with PlayStation over the past decade. No More Heroes Heroes Paradise eventually made its way to PS3 a few years after its initial release on the Nintendo Wii, but the second installment was skipped. Now the Travis Strikes Again No More Heroes spin-off is coming to PS4 later this year, but it looks like there could be more from where that came from. In an interview with Dengeki Online, Suda51 has stated the first 2 No More Heroes titles have a good chance of coming to the PlayStation 4 via remasters. Kindly translated by DualShockers, he says that he is currently discussing it with Marvelous. When asked if there was a possibility of the 2 games making their way to the PS4, he states that those discussions are positive and an announcement regarding that might be coming soon.
Wow, that's awesome. Really, really awesome news. I know Suda he's kind of like, not to say like Tim Burton, but he is like, yeah, like he has a style to him. You know what I mean?
100%. Him and Kojima, I think, have like, they think about games.
They're cult of personalities.
Style, yeah.
Yeah. So my question here for you: are you a big No More Heroes fan, like Luda is? Are you a Suda fan, like Luda? Kyle?
Oh God.
Are you excited for this? Are you willing to try these games out? Because, like, I know my friend Henry, he's over the moon about this. Like, he would get this day one if it came to PlayStation.
I have never played a No More Heroes game, but I've heard they're fun.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah, I'd check them out.
Yeah, this is awesome. And I mean, he says things are positive, maybe looking for an announcement soon. Do you think, I believe No More Heroes is being published by Nintendo, but seeing how other Suda games are making or have made their way to PlayStation and other consoles, do you feel like a No More Heroes 3 could come to PlayStation, or do you think that No More Heroes 3, it's a timed exclusive, they'll probably give you the remakes or remasters of his previous titles sooner rather than later? What do you think?
So you're saying, like, are we ever going to get 3, basically? Is kind of what you're...
Yeah. Like, what do you think's coming first? Is it the remasters, or do you think that he's talking about getting 3 on the PlayStation?
I think we could be in a situation where we get the remasters first.
Okay.
And then maybe 6 months to a year later, 3 gets ported over.
And kind of just, like, gauge the excitement from there.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Probably he's saying he's talking to the publisher at hand. So, yeah, let's see.
I kind of think of it in not really exactly the same way, but the way that we got the Shenmue collection.
Okay.
Earlier, was it last month or 2 months ago?
Yes.
And we're getting Shenmue 3 later this year. No, or did that get pushed to next year?
No. It's coming out in November. It's coming out, I think, November 11th. Yeah.
So, like, that same kind of time frame. Like, we get the first 2, and then a new one's coming. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. All right. Well, with that, you know what I do know? Microtransactions suck, and this goober kind of hurts. Kyle, would you like to talk about it?
Eric Van Allen from US Gamer. Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled is adding microtransactions. In a blog post on Activision's site, developer Beanox went into detail about the changes coming as part of the Back-End Time Grand Prix. As part of the Grand Prix, CTR's version of a battle pass, new cosmetics, carts, and racers will be arriving in the in-game pit stop store. Normally purchasable with earned Wumpa coins, you'll also be able to buy them in bundles. This option, quote, this option won't change the game's core mechanics. Players will still earn Wumpa. Why can't I say that word?
It's weird. Don't even worry about it.
It's Wumpa.
Wumpa.
I think it's Wumpa.
Wumpa.
We'll earn Wumpa coins
Wumpa?
by playing the game in any mode, just as before, Beanox writes.
Mm-hmm.
They will just be able to purchase additional coins if they choose, end quote. No indication yet as to how much these coin bundles will cost or what the ratio looks like in dollars to cosmetics. The Back-in-Time Grand Prix will run from August 2nd through the 25th and will include new challenges and special races alongside the influx of new cosmetics.
So it kind of seems like it's taking more of the battle pass approach, and anything in the store, it's kind of like you could buy it in the battle pass. That's what it's kind of seeming like to me. Now, here's the thing. A lot of controversy over this decision because the game came out originally. No talks of microtransactions coming anywhere near this game. Everybody was singing its praises because, hey, it's a $40 game. There's a shitload of content in here. I almost was going to say a crap ton. I was like, I don't need to censor myself. But, like, yeah, and then all of a sudden they turn the dial up to 11 and just start putting in microtransactions in this game. Kyle, my question to you, sir, do people have the right to feel betrayed, to feel pissed off? Because I know there's a large portion on the internet going, you just betrayed our trust. And there's another side going, well, if there's only cosmetic, and honestly, you got to make money somewhere.
Yeah,
I'm fine with it. If it's not undermining the value of this game, who really cares, right?
Yeah.
Where do you fall on it?
I'm kind of on the side of, if a microtransaction is not game breaking in any way, I am okay with it. Like
even if they were like, hey, we're not going to do it in the beginning, and then again, like a month after reviews are all done, they're just like, now they're here.
Yeah, I guess, because like again, like it's just if you want your player to look cool, basically, in game. Like I don't think that's such a bad thing for them to charge some money for it. If it becomes more predatory, and like they're aiming for it, they're just kind of shoving it down your throat.
Yeah, it might. See, the thing here, dude. Okay, so I had a video out this week, and I was like, I'm tired of outrage culture. Everybody's just up in arms about everything nowadays. You can't kick a baby without everybody shouting at you. You know what I mean?
Whoa, that went dark.
So here's the thing. I kick them to safety sometimes. Here's the thing.
Another shirt. I kick babies to safety.
Sometimes. No, but like there's just this fume of just like outrage of like people being upset to be upset. Like, I don't own this game, and you can see how much anymore. You can see how much I care. I don't, but I understand people who are hardcore Crash fans who feel betrayed because there is a betrayal of trust, right? You said no microtransactions. Everybody was applauding, hey, we're getting all this free stuff, over the next coming of months, which you are getting a ton of free characters and tracks and whatnot. So like everybody was applauding them. Game comes out, a lot of people buy it, and then all of a sudden they're like, oh, there's microtransactions now. I understand the anger, but at the same time, I am of the other mind of like, okay, they're cosmetic, and they're also giving you a shit ton of free content to look forward to down the line. And they didn't have to do that at all, So I understand, like, I hate to say this. I know they're $1 billion company, but like, they have to make money too, right? This is a business at the end of the day. Video games have evolved, and I just want to make sure that as long as they're not predatory, as long as they're not trying to hit that dopamine rush, as long as they're only cosmetic, then that is not a problem with me whatsoever. So for me, I'm of two minds because I don't think people should have been betrayed the way they have, and I think that's really shitty of Beanox to do, but I also understand that wasn't their purpose to do in the beginning, right? This choice wasn't up to them. But I'm of two minds.
There are so many other games that do microtransactions.
So with that, Let's get to the next goober. Kyle, what do you got for us?
This one comes from Cindy Boren over at CNBC.
What?
Who is Kyle Giersdorf, the 16-year-old who won $3 million in the Fortnite World Cup? The 16-year-old known as Bugah, I hope I'm saying that right, Kyle,
Yep.
Two gamers, came away with $3 million Sunday in the Fortnite World Cup solo competition, beating 99 other players culled from some 40 million who hoped to qualify for the event in Arthur Ashe Stadium in Flushing Meadows, New York. Harrison Salm Chang, one of the oldest competitors Sunday at 24, won $1.8 million. Quote, "It's great representing the old dudes." How dare you, Harrison?
Fuck off, dude.
Experience and composure trumped everything. Chang, a former professional Heroes of the Storm player, said, "Fortnite is a young man's game, though. He said he plans to either gamble it all or invest his money, but hasn't decided yet." More than 30 nations were represented in the tournament, sponsored by Fortnite's parent Epic Games. It awarded $30 million to players over the weekend, which also featured a Pro-Am and Duos competition. Before you get into it, Joe,
yeah,
I hate Harrison right now. How dare you? 24, you're one of the old...
I'm the old man here. Yeah.
And then you say that you're going to go gamble it all? Okay, dude. Real smart. Real smart.
He's just being a dick, you know?
Real smart. How dare you?
Yeah, what was his name?
Harrison Salm Chang.
Oh, that's a weird way to spell douchebag. All right. Well, how I'll transition to this is, fun fact, I saw this on someone's Twitter. I wanted to give them credit. And then I saw a different Twitter post, just copy and paste it. So I'm not going to give this Twitter post any credit whatsoever because it wasn't the original source. But you know who you are, okay? You know who you are. A fun fact, the state of New York / federal government will collect $1.5 million in taxes from the 16-year-old Fortnite Cup solo player champion, Bugah. He will just take home $1.5 million out of the $3 million he earned. That is a crazy number. First off, he's just like, it's like they stole the money. It's like it's tax, and it's not like they're taking all of it. He still has 15 Teslas he can buy. You know what I mean? You know, it's like, I get it. Where this money, you know, what's the government going to spend all this money on? You know?
Yeah.
How much do all these kid cages cost? You think of it because they're kids, they're smaller, so it's more like it's a smaller cage. Sure. So it's more like a kid kennel. And now, does that sound that bad anymore? It sounds kind of fun. Kid kennel.
Oh, no, it doesn't.
You know?
No, it doesn't.
Hashtag put these kids in kennels.
Please don't hashtag that.
You gotta laugh at it or else you cry.
That's the thing, like, when I think of... This is now, like, the taxes podcast of the night. Yeah. When you look at, like, the Powerball winners, like, when the crazy jackpots...
Yeah.
They, like, have to give hundreds of millions of dollars to taxes.
They're still, like, 60 millionaires, you know?
I understand that, Joe, but why so much?
Yeah, and why is douchebags like Harrison getting all that money, you know?
Seriously.
Jesus.
24 car.
With that, though, I got this from CNBC, okay? Enough dark jokes out of the way here.
Oh,
CNBC.
Also, they played this in Arthur Ashe Stadium. That is, like, an iconic place for... tennis.
Yeah.
Like, that's insane that they had Fortnite there.
This kid won more money than Tiger Woods would at the Masters Club. Yeah. CNN covered it. ESPN covered it. Kyle, my question to you, getting down to, like, you know, let's get our accountants out of here and talk about games again. This is crazy. Like, this is a moment in video games.
100% a moment. This is like... These old people who don't understand games are like, oh, this is a thing. I mean, sure, they might not still understand it, but like, kid won $3 million. Yeah. He is 16 years old.
Yeah,
that dude is set for a very long time.
Yeah, like that kid doesn't really have to think about much. Yeah, for a really long time.
Just buy battle passes for the rest of his life.
Dude, I mean, look, how many battle passes could you buy with that? That's a crazy thing to think, is that like this kid's got the notoriety. This kid's set. This kid is set. He's got $1 million in the bank. God knows what him and his parents and family will do with it. But like now he has a support system. He has his name out there. Unlike ever before. It's awesome to see games being taken seriously again. And like, yeah, you're still getting like news anchors covering it with like a question like expression, but it's it's awesome to see. Now, Cam Connick, did I pronounce that right, Cam? I don't know, but you tell me. Yell at me in the comments. If you had the opportunity, he writes in, if you had the opportunity to create a high-profile, high-production value tournament for any game in the world, what would it be?
Oh, man. All right, I have one. The moment I read this, I have one.
Okay.
It's Rocket League, and I know they already kind of have them.
Yeah.
But here's my thought process, Joe.
All right, let's go.
Let's just bring them to like a full-on soccer stadium, right?
Yeah.
And instead of like the grass, like it is just a giant screen, like an AR type of experience where you can
holodeck. Are we holodecking shit?
Yeah, dude, we are holodecking this.
Are we gonna be on the Millennium Falcon? We're gonna like let Chewie win type of thing. Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, we're gonna punch it, Chewie. That's what we're gonna do, and we're gonna watch like real Rocket League cars go up on the walls, like all around you. Like that would be dope. It would never happen.
Kyle,
that would be... Kyle.
That sounds like a Ready Player One scenario universe, right? That sounds like Cyberpunk.
Now.
I feel like we're having hologram Tupac versus hologram Biggie at the finals.
Sure,
let's
do it.
And at that point, I mean, technology's gone so crazy. You're probably having sex with holograms.
Okay.
So it's like, why do I want to watch these virtual cars ramming into each other if I got a date with virtual Marissa Tomei? You know what I mean?
No, I had to say no the moment you said ram. I had to stop it.
Kyle, next goober on the list. We got two more.
Andrew Webster over at The Verge writes, Fortnite Season 10 will start with a time-bending explosion. In a short video, developer Epic teased an event many fans have been expecting. Ooh. The glowing orb in Loot Lake appears primed to blow up. Cracks have been appearing on the orb over the past few days, leading to speculation that a cataclysmic event is in the works. The teaser was accompanied by the phrase, "Zero in." Not long after that tease, the developer went ahead and released a full minute-long story trailer that provides a lot more details. After the explosion, a character travels through a void filled with elements and moments from past Fortnite seasons. We see the rocket launch crack the sky, and the magical butterfly from the cube explosion. The sentient banana Peely naturally makes an appearance as well. It ends with the tagline, "Out of Time." It started on Sunday at the World Cup Finals with a single image of the previously destroyed location, Dusty Depot, along with the phrase, "Think Back." Subsequent teasers similarly showed off elements from Fortnite's past, including the Visitor from Season 4 and Drift from Season 5. Dope. This combined with the new trailer indicate that Epic is looking to tap into the surprisingly rich history of the game's fiction for the upcoming season. Joe.
Yes, sir.
Does this get you to peel yourself away from killing 15 people in Apex? Will it say, "Hey, Luke, I love you, man, but I'm playing Fortnite again"?
Do I really though? Here's the thing, right? Like, you take a look at that number, 15. You go, Joe, that's a lot, but that's not too much, right? There's only 60 people on that map. That means I killed a good fourth of them. You know?
Yeah.
These dumb idiots come into my house. They come knocking on my door. You know, what do they expect?
Yelling upstairs, Yeah. That's what they're doing.
Like a bunch of lunatics. Not in my house. No, this is interesting. Like, Fortnite does have a rich history. Going back, I know it's only been a year since this thing blew up, but Season 10. We're already on Season 10. And there is a lot they can do with the previous seasons, like bringing back Dusty Depot. I love the original Dusty Depot. I would love to see it back. Playing off the original battle passes, that's an awesome idea. Hey, we know people have invested a year plus time into our game, right? Here's a way to reward that battle pass from 6 months ago into this battle pass today. That's freaking awesome. That's really cool. So I'm gonna be honest with you. This does get me to yearn to go back because I want to see, I'm going to be honest, being as far away from Fortnite that I am now, looking at it, I'm not as pressed, I guess is the word I want to use, to go back because so much has changed. So to see things come back, yeah, that gets me a lot more excited than prior. So For me, yeah, it does get me back. Does this get you anywhere interested in the Fortnite? No?
Not at all.
Damn. Now,
Yeah.
here's
Sorry,
a cool
Fortnite.
thing. A battle pass comes out as this video comes out. So I want to know, everybody, PS Trophy Room, are you buying the battle pass? Are you not? I think it's genius that Fortnite was able to say, here's this big grand tournament. Everybody look at us, and then just like 2 days afterwards go, now you could buy this thing for $10. Huh? You like that? I think it's awesome PR. I think it's awesome marketing on their part, and they've just been killing it ever since. So
Yeah.
awesome, man. Yeah, I'm gonna check it out for sure. With that, Kyle, the next Cooper.
Oscar Deus from GameSpot writes, Killstreak's return in Call of Duty Modern Warfare, but one is proving controversial. Call of Duty Modern Warfare will bring back Killstreak rewards in multiplayer. Publisher Activision has confirmed just ahead of the game's full multiplayer reveal on August 1st. However, one of the Killstreak options has caused some controversy. The 3 Killstreak rewards announced so far are a Juggernaut care package, an armored assault vehicle, and the chemical weapon White Phosphorus. And it's that last one that has proven contentious. All 3 have been seen in some form or another in past Call of Duty titles. Juggernauts were used extensively in the Modern Warfare subseries, as were light armored vehicles. White Phosphorus was previously used as a tactical grenade in the Black Ops series, where it caused, quote, a small amount of damage on detonation. But the framing of the weapon as a reward this time around paints it in a somewhat different light.
How?
In real life, the use of White Phosphorus, also known as Willie Pete, against civilians and in civilian areas contravenes the Geneva Convention, thereby classing it as a war crime. Some Modern Warfare multiplayer maps take place in civilian areas, albeit without civilian characters present. However, Kurosaki was talking about the game's single-player campaign.
That's the narrative director, by the way.
Which also depicts child soldiers, among other serious topics. It's unclear if the multiplayer mode will treat the use of White Phosphorus as harshly as it sounds, as if the story mode will treat mistakes. It's this that is the root of some of the latest controversy.
So, Call of Duty's going for a real gritty look at warfare. At least that's what they term it. You know, yeah, you're going to be, looks like, in the eyes of a child soldier in a made-up Middle Eastern country. You're going to see terrorist attacks in what appears to be somewhere like a Netherlands, you know, Europe. You're going to be, you know, able to shoot civilians. Now, albeit with the mention of it'll affect gameplay. You can't just go around like no rushing it. You will get a game over screen, it seems. My question to you, with now this implementation of White Phosphorus, a lot of people are kind of concerned Call of Duty is not approaching warfare right, I guess. And they're getting uncomfortable with the realist take, because they don't feel like a game like Call of Duty that is an action blockbuster is much of a think piece worthy game. So what are your thoughts on this gritty reboot? Does all this stuff peel you away from this game, or does it not affect you? And I know that sounds weird when I say that, but
no. I understand where you're coming from. The moment I heard child soldiers, I'm out. That's uncomfortable. I'm not someone who works with kids. Like, I don't ever want to see that or take part in that at all. And I've seen some people with this Fight Phosphorus stuff on Twitter just say like it's a really awful thing. And I get it, like, these games you're shooting other people, like that's the point of the game. You are causing harm to a virtual character, but like for me personally, this is like taking it one step too far into realism type thing. Like, I play games to escape. I don't really want to play games where I'm, you know, killing innocent people, or like seeing child soldiers like have to do awful things. And I don't know.
So like for me, it's weird because like we're gamers, we shoot bad guys all the time, but like having to peer through the world of a child soldier is something that it's kind of like if Michael Bay was just like, hey guys, the next Transformers is gonna be a little fucked up. You know what I mean? Like you're gonna, you're gonna see Sam Witwicky like kill a dude. It's just like, well, I'm not prepared for Sam Witwicky to do that. So, I get it. I get why people are like, can Call of Duty do this? And at the same exact time, like, who cares? And I know that sounds awful because, like, yeah, this is Call of Duty. This is their namesake. They are the first person action warfare game. They're always pressing the limits, right? Mm-hmm. No Russian got people uncomfortable. They chose it. They gave you the option to skip it if you want. And it seems like ever since then, they've been doing these shock pieces to get people talking. And I think it's kind of gotten tiresome. It's like, we know what you've done in the past, and it's more just like, whoa, shock value than actual substantive stuff. Adam Leonard, let me make sure if that was made a word. Fact check me, dude. And because I don't know either. So, like, yeah, like, I want some substance to my games, and Call of Duty doesn't necessarily provide that in the story department. It is the action, Michael Bay type of shooter. So, like, for me, yeah, when they're like, oh, we're going to make it gritty and down to earth, I'm like, but can you? I don't know, because you said you'd do that with every single one of them, and you don't really. You haven't done it. You haven't made me feel something since, like, Call of Duty Modern Warfare, like, unironically. Now, with that said, when it comes to using weapons of war in a video game, in a multiplayer kill streak mechanic, guys, just shut the fuck up, okay? If you, to me, that's where I'm just like, outrage culture. Knock it off. Yeah, literally, like, shotguns are against Geneva Code. Dude, you're shooting people with shotguns. You could call a tactical nuke. Nobody ever complained about a tactical nuke. That's unrealistic. It's churlish. It's stupid. And yeah, the real life implications of like that Terminator 2 future, you're just dropping it when you get 25 kills in a Call of Duty match. Like that, I feel like you're reaching for the sake of being outraged by something, right? Like that's like it's like you're asking to be offended at something at that point. So for me, when I'm like, if it's a multiplayer thing, yeah, of course these maps are going to take place in like cities and stuff like that. It doesn't matter as long as there's no like civilians in there. It doesn't matter to me. So I am unsettled by the single player implications that they've put forward, but when it comes to the multiplayer stuff, I'm like, guys, this is a non-issue. Like most normal people they're not gonna look at that going, oh, this is white phosphorus, use it everywhere. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think people are just being outraged to kind of be outraged over all this. It's video games. I don't know. Yeah. It's one of those issues where I'm like gray area, like I was last week, where I was just like, I'm not on one side of the fence or whatever. It's like my one leg's in, one leg's out,
Sure.
Kind of like I got stuck on Andy House's gate this week, but I'll talk about that later.
No.
Yep. Boy. With that, Kyle, what's the next goober on the list?
This comes from the PS blog. PlayStation Plus free games for August. Wipeout Omega Collection, Sniper Elite 4. Ooh. Combining Wipeout 2048, Wipeout HD, and HD Fury expansion into one turbocharged package. Wipeout Omega Collection brings the breakneck speed and combat thrills of the anti-gravity racing franchise to PS4. Sniper Elite 4. Slip behind enemy lines and work to drive out Axis forces from the Italian peninsula. Scout huge, varied environments as a covert operative and take out enemies before setting up the perfect hit on high-value targets.
This month alone, when people are like, oh, how many games of the value of these two games put together? This I got from the Iron Lords Network at $79. So that's a lot of value. And not to mention that Wipeout 2048, that is also a PSVR title as well.
Just about to bring that up.
So you could use it in PSVR. Everybody's just like, this is one of the best VR games. So I'm actually going to download it today. I'm going to try it out myself.
And if you think like being in like a futuristic race car is going to get you motion sick, they do a great job. They have different settings where you can either look around you while you're racing,
or just
your head stays still. There's different variations where you can tailor it to what you are comfortable with.
Now, have you played this at all?
I absolutely have. It's awesome.
Okay. Oh, all right.
It's really cool in VR. Really cool in VR.
I mean, also, you know what? Going back on Call of Duty just for a second.
Yeah, sure.
I want to know your thoughts on everything. Let me know in the comments. Casa de Bad Bit at PS Trophy Room. You know where to go. With that, Kyle, this question comes from the most famous of all the Seamuses I've ever met in my entire life. You could quote me on that. He says, if you could bring back one game on PlayStation Plus that you couldn't get because you weren't signed up for the time or whatever, what would that game be? Me, the game that I missed out on, Metal Gear Solid 5.
Yeah.
Phantom Pain. I did not see that coming. And yeah, I don't think I downloaded it. And I'm just like, that's the one I kick myself for. That one really sucks.
Yeah. I've been a PS Plus subscriber since it was announced. So pretty much everything that gets announced for PS Plus, I just add to my library and it's there. I can download it as long as I have it. But I was going through the list of everything. There's two that for some reason I missed, and I don't know how or why. It's Saints Row, Get Out of Hell. I missed.
You're not missing much. You're not missing much.
I don't know. I just maybe want to do some mindless running around. And Tropico 5. I've always heard the Tropical games are pretty cool. And I like those type of simulation type games. And yeah, it'd be cool to have that. But
also, we got one other question. This comes from Emmett Watkins Jr. And he asks, have y'all ever tried Sniper Elite before? Highly recommend. If not, there always been cathartic stealth games for me since there are so many more range options for stealth. I never have, and this is actually maybe my first attempt foray into it. So yeah, that's pretty.
It's always looked fun. I love how I've seen some Let's Plays of it before where it slows down. Where if you get hit a vital organ, it kind of slows down. I think the most iconic thing from Sniper Elite is you can do a testicle shot.
Yep.
And it's that is the hardest shot you can probably do.
Always wanted to make a Nazi celibate, you know what I mean?
There you go.
Anyway, with that, Kyle, I got a question for you, all right?
Yeah.
Are you holding on to something right now?
Nope, and I'm not gonna hold on. To
no, Kyle, no, you can't.
Nope.
You can't. Are you wearing a seatbelt? Are you wearing a seatbelt?
Nope. Let's go. Let's roll.
Oh, holy shit! You're
ready.
You're a fucking daredevil.
I'm ready.
Prepare the drop each and every week. Oh no, he's falling. I told him to hold on to something. He did not. Each and every week, PlayStation drops the latest and greatest in all things PlayStation onto the PlayStation Store. The problem is that there are way too many games to narrow down. So this is what we do. Each one of us picks one game that piques our interest. Kyle, what is your game if you landed safely?
Oh man, that was quite the drop.
How were you able to survive from such a high,
You know what? I got a lot of cushion. The Church in the Darkness is my pick. The year is 1977. Your nephew has joined a religious cult and moved with them to the South American jungle to found Freedom Town. It's up to you to sneak into the commune, find out what's really going on, and decide if you need to get your nephew out. Is this a socialist utopia or an oppressive prison? I've seen Let's Plays of this. I've played this, I think, at PAX last year. It's a really cool game. I'm very excited it's finally out.
Holy crap, that seems freaking crazy. That
it's top down. It's top down.
Isometric.
It's got some MGS vision cones on some of the enemies.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember if it's oh my god, what's the word I'm blanking on it.
I don't know.
When things are never the same. You can go back in.
Oh, procedurally generated?
There it is. Yeah. I think it might be, but I'm going to double check while you read yours.
Right. Well, mine is Bear With Me, The Lost Robots. Now, you look at the title here, and you're like, what is this? This sounds dope.
Yeah.
Right? Lost Robots, Bear With Me. Well, you see, this is a noir epic. Point-and-click adventure. I sound like Peter Griffin. This episodic point-and-click adventure series, Bear With Me, is back. Introducing Bear With Me, The Lost Robots, an all-new prequel chapter featuring Amber's brother Flint and the coleus detective, Ted E. Bear. What? That's even way too many puns for me to do. There's a teddy bear detective set in a noir landscape about robots. Description: someone out there, help me out here. You know.
Real quick, so Church in Darkness, the camp layout is procedurally generated, along with people's allegiances and beliefs are also constantly being generated as well. So it's never going to be the same thing going in. Yeah.
All right.
Yours reminds me of that game Naughty Bear.
That's what I'm thinking too.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'm not a fan. Now, for Andrew House's snail mail, I love this week because a lot of the questions went with the news this week. I love when it does that, but this was a really good question. And just like each and every week, you could send in your questions via the Casa de Bad Bit Discord server or at PS Trophy Room on Twitter. So with that, our sole question this week comes from Robert Amato. And he asks us this. Oh, wait, or I could steal Andrew House's mail. I don't know what to do with this segment anymore. I ran out of ideas.
You said you got caught on a fence earlier.
I got caught on a fence. I had to gnaw my own leg off. It was a 27 days later
127 hours?
Yeah, that shit. Yeah, it was real fun. You know, it's crazy. Did you guys check out the new additions to GTA 5 Online? If you were slightly If so, were you slightly disappointed with the Diamond Casino? Honestly, I'd trade this for a full-fledged casino heist. Robert Amato, that's a great question. I haven't played GTA in God knows when. It's been a hot minute.
Since I beat the single player on PS3, I think.
You disgust me. But
whatever.
Because I'm just like, you don't even play the online? Not even that.
Joe, you know me. I am not an online player.
I'm just getting where your mind's at, you know?
Yeah.
There's been a lot of controversy with this casino because you can't play this expansion in a lot of countries because it promotes gambling and it's outlawed. And so it is so weird how we've talked about games being exploitative and, you know, riddled with gambling mechanics that Rockstar has taken it upon themselves to literally put gambling in their own video game.
Yeah.
Now, like, and I don't know if you have to use real money to it. I doubt that's the case. But, like, yeah, that sounds stupid because, Robert, you're so right. Yeah, what's that?
I mean, you can go and buy in-game money. So, like
yeah.
What, shark cards?
Yeah, shark cards.
So, like, I mean, yeah, you technically are putting real money in to use.
Oh, yeah, that's true. God, that is... Whew, Jesus Christ.
They gotcha. Rockstar gotcha.
Yeah, like, they're really just dancing with the devil, you know? God damn. So, like, you look at it, I'm just like, yeah, this would have been way cooler if it was a casino, Robert. You're dead on. It would be a lot cooler if it was a casino rather than literally putting gambling mechanics in this game.
Yeah.
And then, like, yeah, having the ability to buy fucking currency. That's wild to me, dude.
Like, what he said was he'd rather have, like, a casino heist.
Yeah, that's so dope.
And that's all I want now is, like, an Ocean's 11 style game. Like, that would be really, really cool.
And it's like Payday meets, like...
Yeah. Well,
dude, that would be so sick. That'd be awesome to have, like, this... And it's like, Rockstar. Yeah. It's Rockstar. So they could have made fun of, like, a tongue-in-cheek, you know, Ocean's 11-esque story.
Joe, you're going to like this one.
Okay, yeah. What's that?
What if there was a Payday cross Ocean's 11 type game?
Okay.
But it's, like... with Rainbow Six Siege operators, like you get to choose your role in the casino heist.
Well, I think in Payday you get to.
Oh,
I think
they have different roles. They're not all just like regular.
I don't know. Someone write in. Let us know because Nasty Boots knows.
Okay, that'd
Aaron
be really cool.
Let us in. So yeah, no, I think that would have been so much cooler than like just a casino. That seems super fucking lame. That's super, super freaking lame. And Robert, I want to know what you think about having a literal casino in a video game, and how does that kind of make you feel with all the conversations that we've been having? Because that interests me a heck of a lot more. But with that, Kyle, we have one last thing to talk about, and that is this week. If you're listening to it as of me putting the video out, we have a stream where it is a trophy room special. It's me and Kyle. We sit down in a room and we are debating. It is the great PlayStation debate of 2019. What have been the PlayStation 4 game exclusives that have defined this system? We have a list of 10 games. We are going to argue what is our number 10 through 1, and we're going to have the great Sean Capri over at the Xbox Drive, but don't worry, he plays everything. He's the only one we could get on such short notice. You know what I mean? I love you, Sean. Thank you. He's going to be hosting the event over at twitch.tv/Sean Capri. He's going to be the decider. So we have to make our arguments to make sure that Sean Capri likes him, he takes him, and we win. All for bragging rights. Now, with that said, we are doing this to help our good friend, the Birdo family, prevent cancer. So, yeah, it's going to be an awesome charity. We're going to have the giveaway of that cup that we talked about a few weeks ago. We had to push it back. So
if you already donated, you're still entered.
You're still entered. Yes. More on that stream, so go check it out. Now, if you haven't made the stream, because, again, chances are, it's Thursday, what is it? The 1st, so chances are you may have missed out. Don't worry, there's going to be the VOD version that will hit YouTube on the 2nd of August, and then we'll be doing the giveaways. We'll announce the winners the week after. So there you go. With all that said, everybody, Kyle, would you like to say your farewells?
As always, I'd like to plug myself. You can follow me over at WhoDatNinja73 on Twitter and on PSN. My show all about the kind of funny community. Oh my goodness.
You gotta all right. Listen here, okay? Video versions. Hold on. Listen, what am I gonna have to do? Do I have to do a Constantinia? Remember the end of that movie where the devil takes out the gunk out of his lungs?
I'll be good. It's just
because I'll do it.
It's what I live with.
I will reach into your lungs. I'll take out that gunk.
Go.
That's how much. Here, let's do this.
Well, no, I should not have done that. No. You can follow my show all about the kind of funny community called Best Friends Talk Funny on Twitter at BFS Talk Funny, wherever you listen to podcasts. And my Kinda NYC podcast with my Kinda NYC friends called Dollar Slice Pod on Twitter at Dollar Slice Pod. And again, wherever you listen to podcast services.
It's kind of fucked up that they haven't invited me to be on that show, but that's fine. You can find me here at Bad Bit Games on YouTube. You can find the show as well on any RSS feed service, your iTunes, or actually not iTunes anymore, your Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, wherever there's an RSS feed service. You can find us. Go to Apple Podcasts, rate us 5 stars. It really helps us out, grows this big, beautiful community that we call home. And so with all that said, with all that out of the way, everybody keep hunting and keep playing PlayStation.
I can't wait to tell you how bad Bloodborne is on the stream.
Fuck you. Fuck, I'm gonna put you in the ground.